Welcome back, boxing fans, to another great show with Sean on Boxing. Yes, it's a short one. I'm just jumping on for the main event tonight, and that's fine. I just wanted to chill, take it easy, and not have to engage for the whole fight card. But I'm here for the big fight, Pacheco versus Sulekoki. And this weekend, this is by and far the best matchup of the weekend. Obviously, Sulekoki is a very good fighter. He's only been beaten by very skilled fighters, guys that are far different stylistically than Pacheco. Pacheco is a tall, long fighter, but he gives up a lot of his height to try to be more of a power puncher. Suleki's previous losses came to Andrade and who? Denny Jacobs? I can't even remember who the other guy was. It escapes me. But nonetheless, very slick fighters that like to control the distance and outbox. And that's what they did to him. So tonight we're going to get at it. We're going to see what happens and who is the real killer at 168 pounds. So stay tuned to that. We'll get back to you in a minute. Welcome back, everybody. So both fighters are getting ready to enter the ring for what should be a great matchup. Pacheco was a guy that was getting a lot of attention, a lot of hype on fantastic performances. In his last two performances, he kind of disappointed. He didn't really live up to expectation. He went the distance with a fighter that most people feel he should have beaten. So it's going to be interesting to see what he looks like today. Sometimes those fights are good, right? They give you a perspective on things you need to do better at, things you need to change, things you need to work on when you get in the gym. Let's see what he does today when he gets in there with a very experienced, skilled fighter. Obviously, Sulekoki's been primarily a 160-pound fighter for his whole career. Now he's stepping up to 168, so he's going to be the smaller man, the shorter man, giving up a lot of length as well. And that could be determinant. Here you are right here, 23 against 35, 6'4", against 61. Sulekoki made weight, looked good at it, but obviously this is a guy who was a career 160-pound fighter. Now he's in there with a natural 168-pounder, a guy in Pacheco who easily is going to transition to 175 pounds down the road in one of the best divisions in boxing, 168, right? This division is stacked full of that second-tier level of opponent, guys like Mbili, Barlanga, Munguia, Pacheco, Bekmele Kuziev, what's his face? The Guatemalan fighter, Lester Martinez, right? The Cuban fighter, obviously, that just made a big statement recently as well. So this division is really packed. It's great to see these guys fighting each other to elevate themselves to a position to potentially get a Canelo fight or just get big fights. David's in. Obviously, he's going to be talking a load of shit about Sugar Nunez, but let's be real. Sugar Nunez did not look fucking great today. He fought a fucking 40-year-old fighter who came up in weight, looked way smaller, and got hit fucking way too much, right? And looked way too wild in his punches. This kind of fight doesn't really magnify him as an elite fighter in boxing. This guy's got a lot of things he needs to work on. What does David say? Sugar Nunez looked pretty sensational. Really? Really? This was a fight where he was supposed to win 100%. The only interest in this fight was he going to be able to be the second guy to stop Munguia. What's his face? The Colombian fighter. But got hit a lot. I'm still high on him, though. His lack of defense might not matter if he has a good chin. Well, luckily for him, that division right now, 130 pounds, is not really full of killers. So a lot of it's going to be based on style matchup, right? I would look at a guy like O'Shaquie Foster, and I think O'Shaquie Foster could easily outbox him. Just controlling him with his jab, walking him into combinations, moving around the ring. He doesn't cut off the ring well. I think, it's always nice to have an exciting Mexican fighter that's making a name for himself. But when you even compare him to a guy like William Zepeda, William Cepeda looks way more polished than Sugar Nunez does. But here we go. Obviously, the fighters are entering the ring. Sulekoki and Pacheco. What's your prediction on this one? Do you think Pacheco can get a sensational knockout victory, kind of like Nunez did with a great body shot that did finish the fight today for him? Or is this going to be another fight where he shows that at 23 years of age, he's still lacking something? He's still not that great and needs to obviously continue to prepare and get better. Because as we know, Sulekoki has never been stopped. So that's quite a accomplishment if Pacheco can go in there and do what nobody else has done before. I can say the gold and purple. I know that's sort of royal colors, but I ain't really feeling it. That's just me. I think he needs a better designer. But Stringer from above is in the house. What's up, my man? So what's your prediction on Pacheco? Is he going to be able to stop Sulekoki? I think Nunez hits harder than Cepeda, but yeah, I agree. Cepeda is a little more responsible on the defense. I like the Farmer fight for Cepeda. Farmer, oh my God, easy work. Easy work. Cepeda is going to be fighting probably on this card. I'm making a video today, so I don't want to let too much out. But Turki Al-Sheikh is making a Golden Boy card in California. And Cepeda is going to be on that. And obviously, we saw JB get upset because of the potential opponent that he may be facing, which is no surprise. See, when a guy like Cepeda fights a guy coming off of a loss, it's the end of the fucking world. But when a guy like Shakur Stevenson fights two guys coming off losses back to back, that shit's cool. It don't matter. And I ain't hating on Shakur. I'm just saying, where is the fucking consistency, right? If Cepeda fighting a guy coming off of a loss is so tragic, so terrible, so double standard, so biased, then how come he's getting all this negativity, whereas Shakur fighting the second fighter in a row is getting literally no kickback at all? None. And even when we talk about my man Keyshawn Davis, the guy he's fighting is coming off of a loss. Nunez isn't good. Mariga is past it already. That's true. Mariga is way past it. He lost to punchers that weren't big punchers in most recent days. Feather-fisted type of guys like Conlon. He should be able to, but Pacheco looks suspect on his last outing. Yeah, against Macumbi, who's going to be fighting Caleb Plant. So maybe Macumbi is just better than people give him credit for. We'll see when he steps in to face Plant. Right now, he's kind of talking big, acting as if he's going to beat Plant. If he beats Plant, then that victory for Pacheco looks fucking way better, right? Let's put it in honesty. If Plant goes in there and schools him and demolishes him, then it sort of holds that fight for Pacheco at a whole nother level. He should be able to put Pacheco look suspect. Yeah, Tevin Farmer did give Muratalla a good fight, so I'm not too down on it. Yeah, but let's be fair. Who the fuck is Muratalla? He's looked pretty mediocre in his last couple fights. Sulekoki is a good test. Sulekoki's a great test. He's a very good fighter. It'll be interesting to see if Pacheco can make that fucking statement today. I hope he does. Because at this point, if he gets a sensational victory today, he may be in line for a Canelo Alvarez WBO mandatory fight. And unlike a lot of these people that are hating on Canelo, I don't mind Canelo fighting Berlanga, Munguia, Pacheco, Alicius Iglesias, Mimbili, right? The top up-and-coming young, hungry lions of the 168-pound division. And people ask, why can he make those fights but not a fight with David Benavidez? Well, the real reason behind it is because none of those fighters are going to price themselves out. They're all going to take a fair payday for who they are, right? Whereas, David and his team expect to get paid like somehow they're superstars, but they're not. They had 2 pay-per-views that were fucking not successful. He co-headlined a Tank Davis pay-per-view, which wasn't successful. 3 pay-per-views you were on, and you didn't do fucking anything. So how much money do you really think you deserve? Yes, Muratalla isn't shit. Yeah, he's a fun fighter to watch, but pretty one-dimensional. 32 wins, 2 losses, 12 KOs. How do you think a Nunez Navarrete fight would go? That fight would be interesting, right? Because we know Navarrete is vulnerable. He's been dropped before and was lucky to get through that fight with the Australian fighter. But at the same time, we just saw that Nunez is there to be hit, and he was hit by an old, short fighter with a shorter reach. When he fights Navarrete, Navarrete is going to have a much longer reach than Sugar Nunez, and also going to be throwing those awkward shots from weird angles like what's his face, Mariaga had some success with. I think that's a great fight. I'd be all over it. Y'all are too hard on Nunez. He's exciting, man. I don't think he beats everyone, but nobody is going to have an easy time with him. We're not being hard on him. It's just you've been pushing him so hard that, how can we not be a little disappointed with his performance today? I expected him to go in there and get rid of Mariaga in 1 or 2 rounds. Just like I hope that Pacheco can get rid of Sulekoki inside 10 today. Is it 10 rounds or 12? And we're also just giving you the gears, David. Come on. You guys fucking give me a hard time fucking every day. So, what comes around goes around, right? That's the way it is. Let's not be overly sensitive. I wonder how long Pacheco will be able to make 168. That is the question, right? Long enough to get a Canelo Alvarez fight. That's the answer. Long enough to get a Canelo Alvarez fight. And when he loses to Canelo, then he's got the perfect excuse to move to 175, saying that he was struggling to make 168, right? That is the pretty much normal playbook for up-and-coming fighters. But here we go. Round 1. Sulekoki is 35, been used by the Andrade and Jacobs. Round 1. Nice back work for Sulekoki. Sulekoki is no pushover. Good boxer, skilled, lots of experience, not much power, which, unlike Sugar Nunez, that's definitely his strength. Not much of a technical boxer, but great power. Like that first knockdown he had against Mariaga, I don't even think Mariaga was hurt, but it was just a big thudding punch. It just knocked him down, right? Just because of the force. Not because Mariaga's legs gave out, not because it was a knockout kind of punch, but it was just such a thudding punch on his head. He just fucking got bowled over by it. Pacheco, you gotta snap that jab out with authority. There you go. Make it hard for the shorter guy to get his jab off. This is a fight where Pacheco's got to be the winner of the bat jab. If he wins the jab, then everything will fall into place. If Sulekoki is able to time him with his jab, it could be another awkward performance for the young kid. I always liked Pacheco much more than, what's his face? The 154-pound giant, Funduro. I never really was much of a fan of his. I thought technically he was pretty fucking limited. Whereas Pacheco, he's got good technical abilities. He throws his jab really nice. It's got a lot of snap. The way he carries himself in the ring, he looks like a natural boxer. There you go. Double that jab, drop that right hand, bring the hook to the body afterwards. I think Pacheco should start watching videos of Michael Nunn. He kind of got the similar sort of physicality. If he could be as sharp and effective as Michael Nunn was, he'll have a good career. Until, of course, the blow ruins him. Nice jab by Pacheco. Controlling the pace, controlling the distance. Nice body shot from Sulekoki. He's going to have to double up that jab. Go to that long body. Nice round. Easy round for Pacheco. Easy jab round. Dominated. Do you think, since Shakur and Tank are not unifying, how much shit will Loma catch if he doesn't try to unify in his next fight? Well, he got tons of shit because he walked away from negotiation for Tank. Yet Shakur is fighting his second fighter coming off of losses. Second. And Tank Davis is going to fight who? Probably fucking what's-his-face at 140 for his title that he just won off of fucking Isaac Cruz. Calling the fights, Mr. Newton. Calling the fights. Hi, what's wrong with your title? That ain't fucking cool. We don't need to be fucking people that stir the pot. We can be the pot. Round 2. Here we go. So far, it's been easy work. The question is, what can Sulekoki do to get inside of Pacheco's jab? And is Pacheco going to start putting his hands together in combination? Sulekoki has to feint better to get on the inside. Try to get Pacheco to bite on some of his feints, foot feints, right? And then maybe try to counter that jab with big looping right hand to the fucking temple. Good thing about Pacheco's jab, it's quick, snappy. But he still brings it back low. The looping right hand is there. Good jab to the body from Sulekoki. Maybe do a little more of that. Change your levels a bit more. Pacheco, for a tall guy, his footwork's not too bad. He's not too heavy on his feet like some guys. Even though he's got real wide stance. Trying to load up that right hand. He should jab to Sulekoki's body too. Try to open up that right hand. Good right to the body from Sulekoki. So far, this fight is playing out exactly like you would expect it to play out. There you go. Nice jab to the body. Pacheco, you got to do that a bit more. Open up that right hand. Good rounds. Another round for Pacheco, 2-0 in my books. Let me know what you guys think. Where are we? LDBC are not even watching this fight. That's true. You going live for Newey's fight, Sean? Of course. I got a couple thousand on Pacheco. Really? Look at you, player. How much kickback do you get on that? You going for like just a win or by a stoppage? I see that what's his face who just fought the the UK cruiserweight today. The Nigerian kid, that he put a big chunk of his purse on a knockout win. That didn't work out too well for him, but that's ballsy. Round 3. Let's see if Pacheco can start adding something to this, putting his punches together in combination. Couple hundred. Oh, there you go. Big risk for little reward. But it's a pretty safe bet, I would think. Nice jab for Pacheco. He's just dropping that in. There you go. Drop that left afterwards. Nice. Should drop it to the body. So you got to like Pacheco's stance. He looks very fluid, very natural as a boxer puncher. I don't know if his power is that legitimate, but he ain't no Sugar Nunez, eh, David? Jab to that body, Pacheco. Jab to that body. Up, 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 down. Down, down, down. Up, up, down. Oh, that was a nice right hand. Throwing the uppercut in there. That right hand made Sulekoki think a bit. Oh, another big right hand. Dropping from above. You got to double up that jab, Sulekoki. A little more. High guard. Boom, boom. Come in, come in. And you should focus more on that body right now. It's always the problem about fighting dudes that are much taller and longer than you. I remember I had a fight in high school with my good friend. He's like 6'4", 6'5". How am I supposed to fight that fucking guy? How am I supposed to get inside his fucking reach? So I just bulldozed him, threw my shoulder into him, drove him against the wall. What else am I supposed to do? Standing on the outside, fucking getting picked off all night. That's kind of what's happening here. You got to be a little tougher, Sulekoki. Bite down to the gum shield and fucking get in there. You got him on the ropes. Fucking don't back up. See, that's the problem with certain fighters. They're so muscle memory to a certain style, they just can't adapt in the ring. And the reality is you should know that you would have these issues against him. Nice right hand from Pacheco. Because he is the taller, longer fighter, so he's going to be controlling the distance behind his jab. That was a good round. Best round so far for Pacheco. Easy work. LDBC are racists. Yes, they are. He just has to win, though. Yeah, that's why I say it's pretty much a easy bet. Not too much risk involved. Not unless something really unusual happens. Because, I mean, the fight could continue the way he's fighting now. He'll win an easy decision. Easy. The difference is he going to be able to, like, step up and really impress us and make a statement, right? To put himself in line for a potential Canelo Alvarez fight. Sulekoki has a better chin here at 168. Well, so far. Or is Pacheco's power overrated, right? Little uppercut. Here we go. Use your shoulder. Be aggressive. Pressure him. Come on. I don't know if this commentating crew is good. I can't stand listening to Sergio Mora. Some of his takes are just fucking terrible. And fucking Mannix, Jesus fucking Christ. Nice little short jabs from Pacheco. Starting to try to throw that uppercut now. What about the left to the body, buddy? Step into that jab. Bust his nose up. Hey, you're going to get hit. There you go. The looping right hand. I told you to throw that, but you got to fucking jab to the body first when you do that. And then next time do it and then come over. Feint to it. At least Sulekoki starting to put a little more pressure on, be a little more aggressive. But still not having very much success. I miss Lampley. Lampley was great, even though, of course, for some reason, well, Floyd Mayweather fanboys, they fucking hated him and fucking Merchant. Merchants was the best. That dude's as old school as fucking old school can be. I don't mind Paulie either, even though Paulie, I don't agree with a lot of his takes. But as far as a color commentator, excellent. He's got a gift of the gab, so that's definitely a good thing for him. Algieri, he's a little more like fucking Ward. Too safe. Too boring. Now Pacheco's trying to load up on those right hands. Black boxing fans started hating on him hard. Well, it was primarily Floyd Mayweather fans, right? The same ones that talked about how Showtime controls boxing. HBO is racist, right? This whole race thing was pushed back ever since Floyd moved to join Showtime. And then, of course, all people could do was hate on HBO. And then, of course, they loved when HBO went out of business. And then they fucking cried and moaned when Showtime went out of business, and people put it back on them and said, see, these two fucking companies, both with the same model, eventually crumbled under the new boxing fucking atmosphere. They just knew it wasn't successful or profitable to do it anymore. So they both got out. Both got out. Neither of them were run out because of racism or run out because of fans. I mean, literally, HBO had just done 2 back-to-back Golovkin fucking Canelo Alvarez pay-per-views that did over 1 million pay-per-view buys. I mean, how terrible is that for business? Not. Round 5. So far, it's easy work. Pacheco trying to land up on that right hand right now. Ooh, the uppercut, sneaking it in there. He's definitely trying to become a little more aggressive now. I can't believe they gave Sulekoki fucking the first round. Pacheco won that round easily because he was the only one fucking landing any punches, all jabs. But that again is fucking Chris Mannix. Who knows what that guy fucking sees? I wear glasses and I see fucking better than him. Go to the body a little bit, Pacheco. So far, for a Mexican, that's something you haven't focused on nearly enough. There you go. Nice left to the head. Feint another left to the head and then come to the body. Oh! Now Pacheco stepping into range, being the tough guy. There's a good body shot. I definitely agree with what Pacheco was saying when he was saying the fight to make was him versus Berlanga and then the winner get Canelo. It's true. That's the same thing I agree with. I want to see these dudes fight each other, which only elevates them to potential big fights. Jumping in before you get that big fight to really sort of make a statement is a little premature. You could have said that with Munguia, even though he was coming off of the Derevchenko fight. But, and then of course, Berlanga, who would have been great if he fought a Munguia or a Pacheco first, won that fight in sensational fashion, then elevating a fight with him and Canelo and making it make more sense. Nice little uppercut from Pacheco. That potentially might be the punch. Oh, that shot got him. Ooh, Sulekoki, he's feeling it now. The first man to fucking stop Sulekoki. Uppercut, throw the uppercut. Nice fucking right hand. Sulekoki's a tough man. Boom. Good round for Pacheco. Starting to put the beating on him. I think Pacheco hurt his left hand. My dream commentator team would be Lampley, Stewart, and Paulie. Actually, those three would probably fucking work great together. Emmanuel, obviously a real easy to work with guy. You know, just facts and fucking real good fucking knowledge. Lampley built the story, right? That's what these guys don't understand. What we're losing from commentators today in every sport is the guy that was able to build the story, right? That's what you need. The person that can build the stories, they open up multiple story frames, and then based on the way things perform, then they're able to follow that up and build an emotional story that boxing fans or sports fans can grab onto. Lampley was fucking great at doing that. And then Paulie, obviously, quick, witty, sharper fucking sort of humor, sort of complements both of them, who obviously are a little older and a little more, straightforward. So here we go, round 6. Let's see if Pacheco can carry on what he was just doing in round 5 and fucking get Sulekoki out there early. Look at that. 49% of his punches landed. Even though punch count or punch CompuBox, sometimes they're fucking punch stats. I don't know. As far as shaking hands, though, some guys just do that, right? Consistently. Oh, I said go to the body, didn't I? Didn't I say go to the body? He ain't getting up, ref. Just fucking call it. What's wrong with you? Fuck, ref. Do you really need to fucking count to 10? The dude looked like he got fucking shot with a fucking deer rifle. Wow. See, that's the kind of statement that we're looking for. That fucking left hand to the body, fucking dynamite. Dynamite. No one ever stops Sulekoki, and then you hit him with a left hand like that, fucking ripped his guts out. It's okay. It's a body shot. He ain't concussed. He just shit his pants. Don't worry. I just need to change my diaper. I'll be okay. Look at that fucking line of fights coming on from DAZN. I mean, at least they're giving you free fights, but really, none of those fucking 6 fights they just listed are anything that anyone actually even fucking cares about. This one, if it was free, but on pay-per-view, a lot of people are going to be like, fuck that. This fight, great. AJ Dubois, what a fucking fight. People got to start talking about that fight more, man, because that shit is sensational. Sensational. Let's watch this left hand. Boom. Oh, surgical. Boom. Oh, set it up. Right hand over the top. Bam. Ooh, that was fucking surgical. They should change his name to fucking the surgeon. Oh, oh. Crushing left. Wow, great victory. Great victory. Both fights, devastating body shot KOs. True. Sulekoki has been knocked down before by Rosado, Dudu Andrade, Gabe Rosado. I knew Pacheco would get him eventually. Jacobs was the other guy to knock down Sulekoki. Knock a guy down, but never get him out, right? So, we got to give my man some props. Sorry, didn't mean to mention Rosado twice. It's okay. Everybody knows it's a typo. But what a victory. Great fucking victory for Pacheco. Obviously the best fight this weekend. And Sulekoki, a very good fighter, unable to fucking do anything today. Really, I mean, he had a few punches here and there that were successful, but overall, he was pretty much dominated from fucking round one until the fight stopped. Pacheco came out, was able to establish his jab early. And once he established his jab, the range, the pace, started then dropping the right hand, trying to land the uppercut. And then eventually, fucking the one time he threw it, that left hand, which was just crippling. Crippling. Dude, you're 23 years old. You're too young to fucking be doing this shit. I guess it's good, though. It keeps you off the streets and keeps you not fucking being reckless with your cash early on. Pacheco is way better than Berlanga. I think so. I think he's way better. He's just a better boxer. And I always thought, skill-wise, technically, he's very good. Fluid, puts his hands together nice, right? Got some big mitts on him. So it's just a matter of him actually performing the way he needed to. Canelo is going to destroy Berlanga. I can't wait. Well, that's the thing, right? Canelo fighting Berlanga is kind of like when Tank Davis fought fucking Rolly Romero. Two dudes people don't like because they fucking got big mouths. So people were kind of excited to see Tank Davis knock out Rolly. People are kind of excited to see Canelo knock out Berlanga. Is it the best fight that could be made? No. But financially, the whole Mexico-Puerto Rico situation, the shit Berlanga is going to talk in the build-up, it's going to make the fight successful. Sulekoki is a very gracious guy. Good victory for both guys. Both headliners today ended up doing exactly what they needed to do. Sugar Nunez with the fucking KO with a body shot. Pacheco with the KO body shot. Salute. I missed it. Did Nunez win? Nunez stopped Mariaga to the body in a similar fashion. Let's listen to my man.
He ran into them like me before, so that's what it is, man. DP show, that's what I do.
I don't think we saw you land a body shot. Maybe nothing right up until that last point. Were you looking for that body shot on that finishing punch?
Yeah, for sure, man. Early in the rounds, it was a little hard for me because, like I said, he's a great fighter. He was taking it away from me, but I try not to show him that I was trying to look for that, so that when I did, he didn't expect it. That's exactly what happened. The body shot, and that's all she wrote.
That's true. Like that. Set it up nice. I'm muted?
I didn't even land it that hard, so I didn't think it was.
What am I muted?
When I saw him fall, and I could tell he wasn't getting up. So yeah, that was it.
Lucky is the most experienced opponent you face.
I'm not muted.
What was he showing you early on?
Can people hear me? Echo.
He was a good fighter. He was coming forward, but like I said, I feel like my skills and my hard work combined. It makes for a great fighter, and that's why I'm a great fighter.
When you started to land that right hand, really from the second or third round on, could you feel your power starting to make an impact?
Oh, yeah, for sure, man. I can tell he was feeling my punches. I felt him slowing down a little bit, like that fourth, fifth round. So, I know he was feeling my punches, and like I said, I told you guys I was going to deliver that knockout, and here it is. You guys, I hope you guys enjoyed it.
You protect your spot as the #1 contender for that WBO super middleweight title. That belt currently owned by Canelo Alvarez. He's fighting on the 14th against Edgar Berlanga. If it's not Canelo, what do you want to do next?
Anyone in the top 10. Eddie Metro brought a few names to the table. I said yes to all of them. I never back down from any fight. So whoever Eddie lines up next, I'll be ready.
You are the mandatory for that belt that Canelo holds. If that opportunity is presented to you at some point, do you feel right now you're ready for it?
Definitely. Like I said, I don't back down from any challenge. Let's get it on.
Let's get it on.
Right here, so maybe he can tell you when I'm going to get that shot.
You're a kid from South Central.
Eddie.
Fighting again for the second time here in the Los Angeles area. What did it mean to you to fight in front of your hometown fans again?
Oh man, this is a dream come true for me. As a little kid, this is what I dreamed of. And to be living it right now is amazing, man. I can't put into words how I feel, man. Thank you everyone who came on to support. I hope you guys enjoyed the show. And I'm here to tell you guys there's a long way to go, man. Team Pacheco is here to stay. Let's get it.
Congratulations, Steve.
Thank you.
Eddie, we'll tell you wanted something big there. You got it. What you think of what you saw?
Spectacular performance, a coming of age performance from a real superstar in the making. He's 23 years old. Once again, the city showed out for him. He's a real good young kid with a great heart. And Los Angeles is behind him. He's #1 in the world. The world title shot's coming, and it's going to come very soon.
Canelo does have that belt, and we all know Canelo's got his eyes on bigger opportunities, both against Berlanga and moving forward. If it's not Canelo, who would you like to see Pacheco with?
Chris, you talk about a big opportunity. By the time the mandatory shot comes round against Canelo Alvarez or Edgar Berlanga, Diego Pacheco against either of those guys is going to be a massive fight. He's going to be the mandatory to the winner of Canelo Alvarez against Edgar Berlanga. But we need another fight. We need a fight in between. The fight I would love to make is Diego Pacheco against Jaime Munguia. I think that's a really good fight.
Let's do that.
I believe we win that fight all day long.
Let's do that.
When you jump up and fight Canelo Alvarez, it's the big step. But,
Let's do that.
With Jose Benavidez and the team behind him, the captain's perfect. He's 23. This is the future of the division. We're going to get it right. And Billy, Munguia, Bazinian, all of those guys.
Bazinian's going to get stopped by Munguia.
We're taking it.
You heard the crowd react just now to the idea of Munguia. He's got business to take care of on the 20th against Eric Bazinian. Do you think that's a makeable fight?
In Los Angeles, California, Diego Pacheco against Jaime Munguia is a massive fight. We go from here to the Staples.
That shit's
sells out the Staples
almost pay-per-view.
Let's make it happen. When Jose says they're ready to roll the dice, we're ready. But like I said, he's going to be called as mandatory to the champion, which is Canelo Alvarez at the moment. It's going to happen. We've got to be ready when that comes. And that kind of fight's going to prepare us to what destiny presents for Diego Pacheco, which is bringing a world championship back to Los Angeles.
Appreciate it. Great performance, Diego. Guys, you looked at me.
Whoa, man. Pacheco, Munguia, that's what I was saying, right? These dudes want to get a big Canelo Alvarez fight. You need to make fights with these dudes that are at that level below Canelo. There's a shitload of them. He mentioned fucking Munguia. He mentioned Mbili, right? Obviously, we talked about, the whole Berlanga fight would be so much more interesting if Berlanga would have fought a guy like Pacheco and got that victory first before getting this opportunity. Man, with Saudi Arabia money behind them and the interest in doing fights in California, a Pacheco versus Munguia fight would be fucking huge. That shit's fucking excellent. Munguia is limited, but he's tough. He's tough for sure. Skill set, Pacheco, I think, is a much better boxer. But to give Munguia credit, he's become a far better fighter than he was when he was at 154. Much better boxer, uses his jab more. It's kind of funny, though, from what I've just heard recently, correct me if I'm wrong, he's left my man, Freddie Roach, and went back to Morales, right? Even though he left Morales to go fight, work with Roach for the Canelo fight. I wonder what happened that he felt it was better to go back to Morales. But, don't get me wrong. Obviously, Morales was a great fighter. I don't know what kind of trainer he is, but you definitely have seen improvement from Munguia. I think Nunez could take Tank Davis's punches. He might be able to beat him, but that's a tall task because Tank can crack. It'd be a fun fight, but at this point, it ain't really a big marketable fight. How do you think Pacheco would do against Munguia? I think he beats Munguia. And I don't know if he stops Munguia because Munguia has been in some wars and showed that he is a monster, right? But yeah, that would be an extremely fun fight. Stringer, that would be a fucking great fight. Him saying that gets me so excited because if you want a Canelo Alvarez fight, go beat fucking Jaime Munguia, be more impressive, and then a Canelo Alvarez fight is fucking just a natural thing to happen. I would pay pay-per-view for that. Me too. Yeah, but would Munguia fight Pacheco? I don't think so. Instead, he's fighting that Canadian bum. Well, it's not instead. He's fighting that Canadian bum because he's coming off of a loss with Canelo Alvarez. And that Canadian bum is an undefeated fighter with a very good knockout record. So it's a quality opponent, right? He beats him, and then a fight like this happens. You're not going to get paid nearly as much money fighting Bazinian as you would get to fight Pacheco, right? Like as we're saying, this potentially would be a pay-per-view fight. That's how big it would be. You ain't getting that kind of money for fucking Brazilian. Yeah, Morales, the mayor of Tijuana, still, that could have something to do with it. It was also natural for Benavidez versus Nello to happen. Sure, nobody fucking dismissing and downplaying that fight. But see, the thing you're failing to mention, and we talked about this earlier, the problem with David Benavidez compared to guys like Pacheco, Munguia, Berlanga, Mendili is that these kids, they ain't going to price themselves out. They're going to come in and understand their B-side status and make the fight that's going to give them career high paydays and tons of attention moving forward and potential upside on pay-per-views. David Benavidez, he thinks he somehow deserves the fight with Canelo Alvarez. But yet this is a guy prior to 2023 hadn't fought fucking anyone better than the dudes we're talking about now. His resume was just as shit as fucking Berlanga, Munguia, Pacheco, Mimbili. He didn't have a great resume. It was garbage. And he was a two-time champion. Lost his titles twice because he's a fucking dickhead. Right? And used his weight bully status at 168 pounds, now moving up, and people are crying boo-hoo. That fucking guy could have easily moved up a long time ago. He literally lost his title because he didn't fucking make weight. What does that tell you? I wouldn't be surprised to see Munguia lose to Bazinian. Well, I think Munguia right now is a much better fighter than he was before. So I do think skill set, jab, power, volume, toughness, the experience that he's going to garner from fighting Canelo Alvarez. I know he lost, but that's the kind of fight that makes you better, right? Because he didn't get Errol Spence around the ring. He fought well and obviously can learn from it. So I think he's going to beat Bazinian and make quite a statement. Won't get any credit because people think Bazinian's a bum because they don't know who he is and they've never seen him fight. That was 5 years ago. Come on. What was 5 years ago? The reality of the situation is it is what it is. What has he done in those 5 years? He fought fucking Canelo Alvarez leftovers, Caleb Plant. Canelo already beat that fucking guy, stopped him. So then you fought Andrade, quality, check, good. And that's why people want to see Benavidez fight Canelo. But you're not obligated or owed fucking anything. Who are you? What have you done? You didn't fight David Morrell, a fucking in-house PBC fighter. You didn't fight Caleb Plant for unification years earlier for unification. Like literally you talk a lot, but you don't do fucking anything. You just moved up to 168, fought Vostik, who was coming out of 4 years of retirement, fought two fucking bum-ass opponents coming back, and you weren't able to fucking be impressive against him. Oh, Vostik was bigger than Benavidez. Bigger. He had muscle, but he's not bigger. Benavidez guaranteed walks around fucking heavier than Vostik does. Guaranteed. I called Bazinian a bum earlier. He's not. I just don't think he's as good as Pacheco, Iglesias, Canelo. I agree with you. But he might be Bazinian, or you mean Bazinian might beat Munguia? Let's see if the Mexican monster go after Bivol Beterbiev. He won't. He won't. Let's keep chastising the kid over stuff from so long ago. What are you talking about? You're chastising fucking Canelo. Yet nobody in boxing has done what he's done. Nobody. Bazinian did manage to sleep Ronald Ellis, Benitez, Volumes, Ellis out of there through accumulation. So we shall see. Bazinian can fight, and he's got power. Morale is a nobody who has done nothing. He needs to step up before getting a Benavidez fight. Oh, okay. But yet, Benavidez deserves a Canelo fight. What has he done? Literally. Like I said, 2023, he finally did something. Prior to that, he did nothing. This year, he's done nothing. Nothing but fucking talk and be entitled. That's all. Vosdick is a good fighter. Dude, Vosdick retired 4 years ago. Has come back and fought dudes that weren't even top 100 fighters. Didn't win a round of that fight with fucking David Benavidez. Just fucking took punishment the whole fight. And showed that David Benavidez's power is probably fucking overrated. That's all Vosdick did. He didn't fucking earn himself any big fights moving forward. Because he's fucking only fighting for a paycheck at this point of his career. Taller, denser muscle. Vosdick even said he's bigger than David. And David still walks around fucking bigger than him. David maybe walks around at 200. He's tall but doesn't have sense muscle. If Canelo Benavidez height, he'd walk around at 220. Canelo walks around at 190. Oh, yes, I know. Canelo is a weight bully. David Benavidez, poor fucking Mexican-American kid, being taken advantage of. How unfortunate, right? The only reason he doesn't have muscle is because he's not fucking diligent. He's fucking snorting coke, eating too much, not doing what he should do to really fucking be as good as he should be. Crawford walks around at 180, and Canelo is a bit bigger. Munguia ain't going to fight Pacheco. Top Rank is going to set him up with Mbili. And that might be true, but no one's going to hate on that. If you make fucking Christian Mbili versus Munguia, that's still a great fight, right? Both DB and Morel have done shit. Like, people act like Morel somehow deserves a fight over Berlanga. But what has he done more than Berlanga? His resume is worse than fucking Berlanga's. And I love Morel. I think he's the best fighter at 168. Well, when he was at 168. But he hasn't done anything. That guy's been protected his whole career. And he kind of looks bad because when he stepped up to 175, fought an inactive guy who's well past his best, looks fucking mediocre in that fight. I do think Bazinian is better than Mbili. Benavidez deserves a title shot over guys like Ryder, Berlanga, Munguia. Deserves? Why does he deserve anything? If he wouldn't have lost his title, he would have got a title fight. He would have got unification for undisputed. What does he deserve? See, that's the problem with guys like you and your mindset. You only say that because you want Canelo to lose. And you're using Benavidez as that fighter who could potentially beat him. But you don't care about David Benavidez. Not at all. So stop the fucking hogwash. There's a term. Benavidez was never a one-punch KO monster. It was always accumulation. See, that's where that who did you fight crap goes out the window when Nello is fighting a tomato can in Berlanga. But Morel hasn't done anything more than Berlanga. And David Benavidez has done just a little bit more than Berlanga in the fact that he had a very good 2023. I bet when you fucking try to defend Tank Davis fighting mediocre opposition, then your argument completely changes, right? I bet it does. Because people love to twist and move the goalposts. Benavidez will never get a Canelo payday. And if Canelo doesn't want to give him a payday, he won't get it. He don't deserve anything. You deserve what you get. If you don't get it, then obviously you didn't deserve shit. Go fight fucking the winner of Bivol and Benavidez. That's been fucking guaranteed to you from Turki Al-Sheikh. huge money, big payday, career payday to become undisputed at 175. If you do that, maybe then Canelo will fight you because now there's a fucking reason to fight you. Now you literally bring something to the table that Canelo Alvarez might actually want. He'd be a tough out for both Benavidez and Berlanga or Morale. I never called Canelo a weight bully. People are just making excuses for Canelo. No excuses. He don't need to make excuses. He doesn't need to fight fucking David Benavidez just because you would like to see Benavidez get the fight. Benavidez spent years and years not fucking doing anything but being a PBC fucking cherry picker. That shit doesn't disappear. He spent his whole career doing that. And now that he wants something, we're going to fucking excuse and fucking ignore it and act like Canelo owes him something. And Canelo hasn't already done way more than every single fighter in boxing today. But we're going to be hypercritical of him. Okay. If Benavidez beats other top 10 fighters, he deserves a shot over Canelo for the Bivol and Beterbiev winner. Why fight other fucking top 10 fighters? You're guaranteed a fight against the winner. Now here you are, Evan, moving the goalposts. Oh, he needs more fucking tune-up fights before he gets a Bivol Benavidez fight. Beterbiev fight. You want the big fight. It's there. Fucking jump at it. Get a career high payday. Make a fucking statement. Earn a Canelo Alvarez fucking payday. Do it. Do something. Because at this point, outside of fucking Mike Tyson calling you the Mexican monster, you've done pretty much bullshit fucking for your whole career. Really. DB could have had a Canelo fight mandated. He chose to move up. That's the other thing. Literally, just before the WBC were going to mandate the fight, he walked away. You know why? Because he doesn't want the mandated percentage. He wants more. That's why these guys walk away from mandatories. Al Heyman fighters do it all the fucking time. Beterbiev did it for a fucking Kovalev fight. He was mandated to fight Kovalev, but what did he do? He walked away from mandatory because he didn't want the percentage guarantee. He wanted to negotiate more. Come on, man. We've been watching this fucking sport for a long time. We're smart enough to know what's really going on and not fucking take bullshit and fucking run with it. Canelo hasn't fought the number one contender at 168. Who's the number one contender? Based on what? There's 4 fucking sanctioning bodies. Don't fucking move the goalpost now, Evan. There's 4 number one contenders, and he has fought contenders because he's fought mandatories. Oh, he didn't fight the number one contender you feel is number one contender. Okay. So can we do that at every single weight class now? Because if you want to be fucking a real boxing fan and be fair across the board, then you'll be doing what I'm saying. Fucking cancel all these fucking sanctioning bodies and create one. Just one. I think I heard you defend multiple world champions. Right? You defended that. But now you're running away from it. Please, let's keep this shit fucking straight. Either you want one champion and one number one contender, or you want to make boxing political and fucking ugly. You can't have it both ways. Boxing is political and ugly. So, fuck David Benavidez. He doesn't deserve fucking anything more than anyone else. You think he's giving people fucking chances? No. Never did, never has, never will. Al Heyman is fucking telling him exactly what to do. And that's not fight fucking Bivol Beterbiev. We're going to cherry pick fucking in-house PBC fighters at 175. Maybe get that regular title against David Morrell. Holy fuck. Woo! Man. A fight that should have happened at 168, but maybe we're going to get it at 175. But then he's going to keep fucking mentioning Canelo because he can't sell. Because he ain't fucking that interesting. He ain't that entertaining. And he hasn't done shit. Truth fucking hurts, I know. He has 0 wins, top 10 at 175 since 2019. And he's not fighting at 175. Nello has been mandated and nothing ever came from it. Actually, Garden Snake, maybe you want to fucking do your research. Nello was never mandated, just like he wasn't mandated to fight Charlo at 160. He wasn't mandated to fight Benavidez at 168. When he was going to fight Andrade, then the IBF, as the IBF does, fuck shit up. IBF'd him to fight Derevchenko, who turned down the offer. Right? Derevchenko turned down a career high offer to fucking get paid bullshit money afterwards, only to fight Golovkin for less money later on. Evander Berlanga, number 1 with the WBA. Benavidez has been mandated and nothing ever came from it. See, once again, Garden Snake, you are just fucking lying, right? See, if you actually were a real boxing fan, you wouldn't lie blatantly in the comment section where everybody can read your comment. He was never mandated. Everybody knows the WBC was going to mandate him as the mandatory in, what was it, March or April of 2024. He chose to move up to 175 to fight Vostik, a fight no one gave a fuck about, in a fight that was a waste of time, didn't mean fucking anything. I didn't like how the Brits were going to rob Beterbiev had he not knocked out Yard, but other than that, I don't dislike Yard. Yard's a great opponent. Great opponent. Nell had lost 5 times, so seeing him lose isn't a big deal. Well, he hasn't lost 5 times. He lost twice. But in your fucking brain, right, any competitive fight is a loss because you don't like him for whatever reason that may be. I just let your profile picture fucking speak volumes. That pretty much tells me everything I need to know. I bet you don't have the same energy for fucking Tank Davis at all. Sean, you forget to make a video on WBO ordering Bud versus Funduro. No, I mentioned it in videos. I've mentioned it in videos fucking for the last 6 months that was going to happen. Fannin actually downplayed it, and I made a video, I think, in response to that, because guys like him, of course, they don't want that to happen. They don't want Bud Crawford to be forced to fight a PBC fucking fighter because they know the PBC is ducking Bud Crawford. So now, fine, Funduro's going to get stripped because he ain't going to fight Bud. Bud's going to become a unified champion, and then he's going to be blackballed and ducked by fucking Tim Tszyu, Errol Spence, Charlo, and Funduro. Charlo could get that WBA mandatory fight, but he ain't going to get it. There's 4 huge fights for fucking Bud Crawford, and all these PBC dudes are going to do the exact same thing they fucking historically have done. Duck. Duck, 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 duck. So Anui doesn't have to fight top competition? What do you mean? Anui's fought tons of top competition. If it were Anui doing what Canelo is doing, we'd never hear the end of it. Hear the end of it from who? From me or from the same people that hate Canelo? Because those are the people that would fucking be hating on Anui because they don't want to give certain fighters any credit at all. Anui's literally being criticized because of his next opponent. Just like Canelo is being criticized for his next opponent. Shakur is not being criticized for his next opponent. Tank won't really be criticized for his next opponent because we always knew that's what was going to happen. So, come on. Stop playing the fucking woe is me fucking violin fucking solo. You know I meant Anthony Yard being tough for Benavidez and Morale. Oh, fuck. Super tough. I don't know if those guys beat Anthony Yard. I don't know. I mean, before his last performance, I would have picked Morale, but at this point, I don't know. And David Benavidez, he's not as fast. He's not as powerful. He hasn't fucking been in the quality of fights that fucking Anthony Yard's been in with. I think Anthony Yard fucking beats David Benavidez. Beats his ass. Beats his ass. And I'm super confident of that. Morale, after his last performance, I'd edge Anthony Yard to beat him too. As a champion, it's your job to fight the number 1 contender or the best fighter from a lower weight class. Fight the best fighter from the lower weight class? That's never been a fucking thing. It's never been your obligation to fight the best fighter from a lower weight class, Evan. Never has it been, and I can't imagine it ever being. right? It's nice when that lower weight fighter is somebody you like and you want to push into that position, but that's never been mandated until the WBO created a super WBO champion who then could become mandatory for the heavier weight divisions if you actually put in the paperwork, something David Benavidez failed to do for Canelo Alvarez. Not my fault, not Canelo's fault, David Benavidez's fault, his team's fault. I guess they just weren't really that interested in getting the fight. And who's the number one contender? WBO doing the sports justice. Of course, WBO, they're the only sanctioning body that really looks legitimate at all. If Benavidez wants to fight Bivol and Beterbiev next, I'm fine with it, but I expect them to rematch. Really? After Beterbiev knocks Bivol out, I don't think there's going to be a need for a fucking rematch. Ever since Canelo was schooled badly by Bivol, let's be honest, he takes low-risk fight, rewards fights. But yet, you're not going to give him credit for moving up to 175 and taking on Bivol, who you probably said was a cherry pick, right? Guys like you, no one cares what you have to say because we know you're talking out your ass. Because if the shoe was another foot, you'd be fucking backtracking like crazy. Literally. Backtracking like crazy. We know you don't like David Benavidez. So let's be honest. Which is why I'd like Benavidez to stay active. He won't. A little off subject, but you don't like Lara Garcia fight. People are down on that fight, but I like it pretty well. What's to like about it? Danny Garcia was not elite at 147. He never fucking was elite at 154. And now he's going to fight fucking Lara for a world title at 160. That's an in-house PBC fucking history fight, which they love to make. They make those fights all the time. Didn't they just have fucking Guerrero fucking come back and fight fucking with somebody recently as well? Like, they love scraping up the dirt to pull off these guys that have name recognition to throw them in with old fighters that literally no one cares about, acting like that's going to make this fight pay-per-view worthy. No one's watched any of fucking Erislandy Lara's 160-pound fights. No one cares. Now you throw me with David Garcia. Who gives a fuck? That guy wasn't the best fighter at 140, was definitely not the best fighter at 147, was never even fucking a top 10 fighter at 154, but now he's getting a world title fight at 160. This goes back to JB saying that Lomachenko didn't deserve an opportunity to fight for a vacant fucking IBF world title fight. But Spence, after getting fucking beaten to a pulp, he deserves a fight with Funduro. Rolly Romero deserved a world title fight at 140. Cordina deserves a world title fight at 135. And fucking Danny Garcia deserves a middleweight world title fight. Never fought at 160 before. Man, no one cares about that fucking fight. Rest of the card is trash. Well, that's fucking part of the trash. That's the fucking stinky garbage right on top. What did you think of the overtime card last night? It's typical. Like, they got that tournament going on. So now you have two fighters made for the final. Should be a good fight. I do expect what's-his-face to win, the black guy. How come I can't remember his name? I think the Greek guy is too one-dimensional. So I think he's going to get beat. But, you know, it's good. It's a good way for lower-level boxing promoters to build fights up. Do like a round-robin tournament. Boom, 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 boom. Then by the time you get to the final fight, people respect it. Because literally, like Evan is saying, you've come up the ranks and you earned a big opportunity, right? By coming up the ranks. Ring Magazine's number one contender was Benavidez for 3 years. I'm just going off the Ring Magazine. Okay. Talking about Canelo and Benavidez is exhausting to me. Exhausting. Because I don't even think Evan fucking really likes David Benavidez that much. It's just more that he doesn't like Canelo. Most of the people who support David Benavidez, it's mostly that they just don't like Canelo. They don't really fucking give a shit about Benavidez. Because what's to give a shit about? What has he fucking ever done? I mean, you might as well support Sugar fucking Nunez. At least he's a more exciting fighter. No alphabet belts. Multiple world championships are fine if the champ is inactive. If the champ fights 3 or 4 times a year, then 1 belt is fine. Who's fighting 3 or 4 times a year, Evan? Who? 3 times a Nui. Yeah, true, David. It's a fantasy fight. Canelo isn't interested in taking tough fights anymore in his career. Does he need to? I hope Bud versus Funduro can happen in December. That ain't happening. Bud is about to retire unless he gets the Canelo fight. I don't believe Crawford will fight again, in my opinion, unless Canelo cherry picks him in a blatant cash grab. Oh, okay. So once again, Canelo is being hated on by Evan because of something Bud Crawford wants, right? Evan's just proving my point. He's not a David Benavidez supporter. He doesn't care about Benavidez. He just is an anti-hostile Canelo Alvarez guy. So it doesn't matter what Canelo does. He shit on Canelo fighting fucking Bivol as a cherry pick, right? Now fucking everybody since Bivol is garbage. Okay. okay. But yet you tell me what fighter you support that fucking has done anything close to Canelo Alvarez. I'll wait forever and ever. Yeah, Brandon Adams is going to fight now. Yeah, I think Brandon Adams wins easy. Personally, I have Canelo losing both of the fights to GGG. Of course you do. You already showed us that you're a Canelo Alvarez hater, Evan. Second fight could have been a draw. Do you think Laura would be willing to fight Crawford if he beats Danny? Would Crawford be willing to fight Laura? Who would give a shit about that fight? As I said, nobody has watched Laura fight at middleweight. No one cares. He hasn't fought a fucking live body, and Danny Garcia is no better. Laura, easy victory. Everyone, same fucking people are avoiding Crawford that always have. From 140 to 147, now to 154. PBC. Evan Deere, so UD like Janibek versus Canelo fight next. Benavidez would make Yard quit. Sure he would, just like he made Bostic fucking quit. You think Bostic would beat fucking Anthony Yard right now if they fought? Bullshit. That's a ridiculous take, Sean. What's a ridiculous take? That you're a Canelo hater? No, man, you fucking proven it. Clearly, 100%. I wouldn't mind seeing him fight Benavidez, stop Yard in 8 or less. He's getting old and has failed twice at world level. Yet that's more than fucking David Benavidez ever did at 175. Yard is no Benavidez. No, he's better. He's got fast hands, more power, been in with better competition. Sean, you act like the WBC doesn't protect Canelo. It's ridiculous. Oh, now you're against fucking sanctioning bodies. Evan, don't move the goalposts. Either you're against the fucking sanctioning bodies or you're using them to fucking push your narrative. You can't have it both ways. You can't have it both ways, brother. You can't fucking use them to fucking push fights that you want and then fucking attack them because you don't get the fights you want. I'm the only one here that's being legitimate. I don't fucking give any support to the sanctioning bodies at all. He moaned for months when he was stripped at 160 for not fighting GGG. Sullivan doesn't want to lose those sanctioning fees again. Yeah, because sanctioning bodies are fucking corrupt. They always have been. PBC fucking got the WBC, WBA fucking in their pocket deep. You think fucking my man deserved to be stripped of the IBF title for fucking some no-name Cuban guy that never even fought a top 10 opponent for the IBF rankings? No, because it's Canelo, so you're not going to care. But then you're going to attack the WBC. Be consistent, brother. I picked Bivol to destroy Canelo and school him. 10 rounds to 2. Oh, yeah, I don't think that. Let's see the link. I made money from my Mexican coworkers. Hey, I also picked Bivol to win. My videos, oh no, they're not up there anymore. Thanks, John Boxing. The fight boots crowd are so freaking annoying. Well, Boots now is being ducked just like fucking Crawford, right? Let's be honest. Evan, you got too much to say. Winner of Garcia Lara Hall of Fame won't be first ballot. Oh my God. Why even perpetuate that? No one cares. No one cares. 160 is a fucking ghost division. Sorry, guys. You write too much. I can't keep up with it. I see Tim Tszyu picking Keith Thurman instead of Crawford if he gets the belt. At this point, if he fought Keith Thurman, that's again fucking the PBC pushing fucking old retiree dudes in fights on pay-per-view nobody wants to see. But people are going to fucking keep kissing the PBC's ass. Why won't Stanionis fight Boots? Because he's in the PBC. He just said that $1.7 million is not enough to fight Boots Ennis. So he's going to go fight some dude for fucking $300,000. Right? Literally, that's what Howard and fucking Stanionis are saying. 1.7 million isn't enough. I need to get paid more. Okay, so tell your fucking promoter to make the fight. They won't, because their promoters won't fucking pay anything close to that. But they figure Saudi Arabia's there. Maybe they'll boost it up to 3 million. I can make 3 million to fight this guy. No, because no one gives a fuck about Stanionis or fucking Howard. I think Laura might get robbed against Danny if he doesn't stop him. Yard is pretty bad in the stamina department, to be fair. I don't think Canelo would have been stripped of the IBF title. Relax, Sean. Benavidez was the #1 magazine. That's Cuban dude. Wasn't even top 10. That's true. Stanionis turned down 1.7 million. He didn't turn it down. In an interview, commenting on the 1.7 million that was offered to Howard, he said that was a lowball offer and Howard should get paid more. Basically telling you that if they offer me 1.7, I'm turning that shit down because me too, as a champion, I deserve more. They're hoping they get like fucking Caleb Plant $10 million fucking payouts. Crawford can't even be held in the same breath as other black welterweights like Leonard, Robertson, Hearns, Napolis, Amelia Griffith. Why not? Sean, it's not Howard. Oh, sorry, Norman. Okay. That tells you how relevant he is, that I can't even remember his fucking name. Outside of him beating one guy, he was fucking irrelevant, a prospect no one fucking knew. He had one good victory, and now he's better than 1.7 million. Evan, you're once again not being fair. And this is the same thing that happens to fucking Bud Crawford too. Somehow the fact that he was blatantly ducked by the PBC at 140, 147, and now 154 somehow escapes people. And because he hasn't fought all those PBC dudes that blatantly fucking ducked him, now he's scrutinized because of it. You know why he didn't fight them? Because the PBC knew he would fucking destroy every single one of them. Broner, Danny, Keith, fucking Spence years before. Porter, who he fucking beat, and he would have beat before. Fucking Ugis blatantly ducked him. Boots ducked him. Fucking Virgil Ortiz ducked him, leaving the WBO mandatory fucking position to go fucking fight for a different sanctioning body because they didn't want to be mandated to fight Bud. And now at 154, it's happening all over again. But we're going to say that Crawford can't be held to the same breath as other great black American fighters, which is what you said. They all tend to be black. Only one is black Cuban. Why not? He's done things none of those guys have ever fucking done. Became a 3-weight world champion. And legitimately, you could say at least legitimately a 2-weight world champion because he was undisputed. Yes, Brian Norman. How about a fight with Raymond Ford versus Nunez? I think Nunez would beat him, but it'd be a tough fight because Ford can box. I think Ford beats his ass. Who the fuck is Howard? Exactly. Who the fuck is that guy? Crawford resigned with Top Rank. Oh my God, Evan. Stop pushing PBC fucking bullshit. See, if you're going to use that, I'm just going to fucking block you because that shit's fucking ridiculous. Stop that narrative right now. Don't even go there because this is what ruins boxing. People that actually co-sign that kind of fucking BS. But you like Cordina Ford got a gift against Venezuela guy and Kolmatov was injured. Danny, Thurman, Peter, Spence all fought each other because they were in-house PBC fighters. Another good fight I like to see is Rocky Hernandez versus Thomas Matias. I'm not a PBC fanboy. You definitely fucking sound like one now, Evan. You sound like one. Let's ask everybody in the comment section. Does Evan sound like a PBC fanboy right now? Leave a yes or a no in the comment section below. This is not me. This is you leaving comments and people responding to your comments. Dun, 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 dun. Yes, Crawford is this era's best welterweight, bar none. Of course, he can be compared to the greats. He can be compared. Because you can go find criticisms for every single fighter you fucking just listed. You want me to do it right now? Sugar Ray Robertson, greatest fighter of all time, blatantly ducked Charlie fucking Burley for his fucking life. For his life. Leonard, weight stipulations. All kinds of fucking shit that people get criticized today. He started it. And I'm a Leonard fan. Huge Leonard fan. So I don't care. But let's just be consistent. Yes. Crawford is this era's Steph Curry of the sport. You have 4 or 5 different welterweights with the PBC and Bud on an island of top rank. How could Crawford get these fights? How could you get them? How couldn't you get them? You want to call yourself fucking a great fighter, yet you're blatantly ducking the best fighter in boxing? The pound for pound number 1? Man, if you want to run with that narrative, you're just going to get more yeses in the comment section saying that you're a PBC fanboy. I mean, even Knockout Boxing is going to come over here because I know you're listening, Knockout, and he's going to give a yay because even he understands what you're saying. PBC fanboy fucking feel. Ford ain't shit. Odebek was the chinless guy with only 11 fights who True School hyped up. Odebek was outboxing the boxer. The problem was he did show that he had no fucking toughness, which is why he fucking ended up losing that fight. Last live John Sean was at tonight. Evan is on one. That's interesting, eh? They're the same person. Is that what you're trying to say, Machado? John Sean and Evan are the same people. Actually, with the narrative that Evan is pushing today, I kind of agree with you. And the fact that he has Devin Haney as his fucking face mask, crossover happens all the time. Leonard is pound for pound the best fighter ever. Come on. Even you don't believe that. Elmi, this is the most overrated welterweight era I've ever seen. Can't come. Oh, my God. Bud was a champion. Making the fight wasn't hard. PBC guys did everything to duck Bud. I didn't see the Ford Ball fight, but Nunez is way better than Nick Ball. That ain't true. He might be a harder puncher, but saying he's way better, that ain't true. I don't think fucking Sugar Nunez beats fucking Ray Vargas. I don't think he beats fucking Raymond Ford. Odebek fought with a torn ACL. Calling him soft makes no sense. Now you're using hindsight as 2020. Soft is because he crumbled in the 12th round of a fight that he fucking was winning. Against a guy that's a non-puncher. At least in my view, he is. To be fair, though, I hear Ford and Ball was a close fight. Ford has a chance to be a decent at 130, but I think he gets destroyed by Badagariev. Badagariev fucking destroys him because he ain't no fucking Odebek. Just go look at their amateur pedigree, and that tells you everything you need to know right fucking there. Sugar Nunez is a beast. He'll destroy that nappy-headed kid. Well, now you're just as bad as fucking the LDBC. But thanks for jumping in, guys. I have a video I'm going to make about Beterbiev destroying Dmitry Bivol. So stay tuned to that. Make sure you tune in, give it a thumbs up, give this video a thumbs up. Come on, Evan. Nobody give you this much fucking opportunity to be a PBC fanboy and a David Benavidez. Oh, David Benavidez is part of the PBC. There you go. There's the connection. But thanks for jumping in, everyone. I'll see you next time. Can't wait for Canelo Berlanga, best fight of 2024. You heard it here first and last.